floating in the middle of the air, in the middle of the field. The second one was even worse than the first one, but this first one was bad as well because it's first down. It's first down. I mean, your first drive of the second half, take care of the ball. I'd rather have seen him throw it into the ground at that point. I mean, it's or wait for CMC, pump it deep, get that linebacker going deep, and wait for CMC to jump up and drop it right off to him. But instead, he throws the pick there, and you're just sitting there going, "Damn, that was between what had happened at the end of the first half, the loss of confidence in Moody, the injury to Kittle, and now Purdy throwing an interception on the first drive of the second half. At this point, I'm starting to lose my belief that they were going to get it done. But they held on the next drive, guys, and Jordan Elliott and Fred Warner tackled Canine for a loss or for a no gain on 2nd and 3, and they forced Seattle into a 3-and-out and punted. And that was the drive that I was referring to, the 6th drive where they just started pounding the run. Like Shanahan at that point was like, you know what, screw this. I don't know if I trust Brock even at this point. I'm just going to start running the ball. And they ran it. They ran it, 5 out of 6 plays or 6 out of 7 plays or something like that. And eventually that Jake Moody field goal, 36-yarder, gets blocked by Julian Love. And was it Hennessy that gave – I mean, if a guy's going to jump over the top of you, you might as well just tackle him. I mean, it's like, there's nothing standing between him and blocking the field goal at that point.
I haven't seen a left side of a field goal attempt collapsed like that ever. Like, I mean, they just caved in that entire left-hand side. But, hi, good to see you. The 49ers win. Good God, that was a game that was just earmarked with all of last year's anxiety kind of all over it. But they end up winning it. I'll tell you, Brock's touchdown to Tongas was one of his worst throws of the entire day. I mean, God, he should have thrown a 3rd interception. He did, but it wasn't. It was a touchdown. And then after, I am literally saying out loud, I'm like, we have yet to see anyone across this defensive line do anything all day today. Nick Bosa forces, the pressure that creates the fumble that turns into the 49ers pounce on the ball and they get to go home with a win after all. That was a freaking heart attack on a stick, but the Niners did it. They did it. And that was a game full of guile, man. It really was. They could have, should have, probably would have lost that game in a lot of different ways, but they didn't. They held on to win it. That's one of their toughest games of the year.
I mean,
it's a good win.
Go ahead, Kev.
I mean, one thing that you said there, Damon, definitely is true. Last year, it felt like everything broke wrong for them. This game at the end, everything broke right. Like a lot of the same, the same anxiety you had last year with the missed kicks, the penalties, the special teams. But instead of losing the game in the last second, the Niners win it in the last second. So I agree there.
The other thing, it's like we came into this game going, came into the season saying, the 49ers, I mean, I heard a lot of people say this summer. I don't have any concerns about them offensively. It's really about the defense and the special teams. And then you get into the game and you realize that, Robert Saleh has given the 49ers such a better coordinator. It's such a huge step up from Sorensen that he might be able to, between the talent that he has and the coaching that he can do and scheming up of some of the pressure, he might be able to get by with some of the young players and be all right. But they have to be they continue to be a train wreck on special teams and very, very underwhelming offensively. Now, obviously, the injuries had something to do with that. I thought Purdy looked at times spectacular and at times, maddening. But to me, I mean, you look at this defense. How about Sam O with that forced fumble on the Seahawks 7th drive at the end of the third quarter or early fourth quarter, and then Siegel had the fumble recovery. I mean, that was a huge play in the game. Absolutely huge momentum shifter.
I thought Siegel in his first start made a number of nice tackles. Like he wasn't talked about enough or a lot in the broadcast, but just watching him, like there's a reason why this guy's starting right now. Like he's a legit tackler. I'm surprised he fell to the Niners, or I'm surprised as a late round pick he's this good this early. I really like
How
it.
about Upton Stout? What kind of game did Upton Stout just have? Because there was a moment or two where, he looked like he was playing in his first NFL game. Then he also got his fingertips on that pass to Jackson Smith and Jigba, which was a huge reason why the 49ers went on to win this game today. I mean,
people were ripping him unfairly, Damon. I thought it's like, dude, this guy was maybe asked. I mean, I was looking at it and like, they are asking this guy to play the run against a team that is going to run it at you with full force and cover Cooper Kupp and JSN out of the slot, who maybe are the best guys out of the slot in the league in your first career start. Yeah. I thought the kid played really, really well. Now, I knew it wasn't going to be perfect. I think Robert Saleh knew it wasn't going to be perfect. But judging by some of the comments of people on social media, I get the feeling that the people just expect that rookies are just going to step in and dominate. Well, it's just not the way it works.
If you want some rookies to complain about, you've got plenty of them today. Alfred Collins' name basically was not used in this game. I'm not sure CJ West played today, and Mykel Williams did. Did
you guys see Mykel Williams? I didn't see Mykel Williams really.
Did Mykel Williams play today? Was he even out there? I think he had a tackle. I mean, that was it. Nick Martin didn't even dress for this game, did he?
No, they that may have burned them if they had lost Fred Warner.
Man, Bethune came in for a minute there, spelled it. Thank God Fred got back in there. This was a game where all the echoes of things that went wrong last year, special teams disappointments, bad tackling on special teams, Jake Moody, part of what you're complaining about, but hardly the only thing that you're complaining about. It looked like stopping the run was a big problem early on. Robert Saleh patchworked that together enough to get the 49ers what they needed out of today. And again, you had Brock Purdy with his two fucking interceptions. And if he hadn't thrown those, the entire day would have been so much different. He almost threw a third interception, but that turned out to be the touchdown to Jake Tongas, and everyone gets to go home happy. Dude, Sam Darnold, with 16 of 23 and only 150 yards, almost had the better day than the guy who threw for 277 with 2 touchdowns.
Well, I mean, turnovers are a huge thing. You have to take care of the football. You can have all kinds of great plays, but if you don't take care of the football, to me, if we're giving game balls, and we'll give game balls at the end, but one guy who absolutely said at his locker this week, I want to be one of the best. I want to be a difference maker. And it was Nick Bosa. And after Jake Moody kicked that 32-yard field goal in the fourth quarter, guys, to tie the game at 10, I still wasn't feeling good because it was 9 minutes and 42 seconds left in the game. And Seattle was getting the ball back. And the guy, is it Cody White, their return guy, had a really nice return. So they were set up at their own 37-yard line, and Darnold goes to JSN on a screen, and Nick Bosa snuffed it out, he read it perfectly, tackled the guy for an 8-yard loss.
Huge.
And right there, it really set up the whole sequence, right? Because second 18, Darnold went to JSN against Renardo Green, and it was incomplete. And then on 3rd and 18, they tried that Darnold to JSN, the lateral, and they had to punt. So, I mean, I thought Bosa, not only did he win the game for them at the end in that 8th drive, I thought he had the key play there. I mean, if that goes for like a 15 or 20-yard gain, suddenly they're, in right on the edge of, 49er field goal or of Seahawk field goal range. And they're going to go in with, burn the clock and maybe go up by a field goal or a touchdown. I thought that Bosa TFL on the screen was absolutely huge. Because, guys, the Niners, that's one thing under Sorensen. And Wilkes, they did not defend the screens very well. And to see him snuff that out with all the chips on the table, that was big.
They didn't really defend anything well last year. And one of my problems with the Niners defensively last year was Nick Bosa. He didn't have a bad season, but he didn't have a season to really write home about. He didn't really do anything significant last year. He didn't really make his impact felt as the most expensive player on the defensive team on the team. He definitely made his presence felt, and he came up when it mattered. That's what you want to see from Bosa, because when you look at the top paid players defensively in the league, they make an impact. Like Myles Garrett makes an impact. TJ Watt makes an impact. You need Nick Bosa to make an impact, and he made an impact. He won you the game. So that's what you need to see.
Thank you, Kev. You know, a lot of people, they want to sound smarter than the next guy talking, so they'll say something like, well, sacks aren't the only way to measure defensive success for a defensive lineman, and look at the pressures and look at the consistency, and there's an awful lot of truth to that when it comes to Nick Bosa. But as I've been saying, I'm tired of looking for Nick Bosa's excellence through squinted eyes and nuance. I shouldn't have to have a deep understanding of football. I don't need a deep understanding of football to watch TJ Watt wreck a game, to watch Myles Garrett wreck a game, to watch Nick Bosa when he makes plays. Him wrecking football games I don't need to go to the Pro Football Focus score the next day to find out whether he had a good game or not. And if I am going to the Pro Football Focus score to find out if he had a good game or not, I'd suggest it's a not. I don't even care what that Pro Football Focus score was. You need to feel Nick Bosa in football games. And in a few moments, in the biggest moment, he was felt today. And that's why the Niners got out of there with a win.
Oh, it was huge. You know, the most, to me, the ugliest play of the game. If you said, what's the worst play of this game? I thought the worst play of the game was Brock's second pick. 2nd and 13 from your own 27. And he's trying to go to Pearsall, and he throws the biggest loopy pass. And there's 4 Seattle defenders in the picture. One guy on Pearsall, 3 guys who had plenty of time with that lollipop of a pass to get over there. That was a horrendous play by Purdy. It turned the ball over with 7 minutes to play in the fourth quarter in a tie game. They immediately went down and kicked a 37-yard field goal. But, you know, I thought that was a horrendous play by Purdy. And then I thought the Niners bottom had bailed out. I'm going to dip for a couple minutes. I'll be right back. But I thought the Niners were really bailed out, guys, because on the next drive, Seattle's 9th drive, they get the ball with 7 minutes left at the roughly midfield, their own 47. They move down the field. They move down the field pretty much at will. I mean, Walker runs for 5. Walker ran for 8. Charbonnet ran for 7. I underlined it because it was like, where is the fucking defense? It was absolutely not there, right? Walker on a halfback toss for 3. They're running it at will. They get to 2nd and 7. D. Winters made a play, tackled Walker for no gain, set up a 3rd and 7. Darnold drops back to pass. He finds Kupp for 6. They get to 4th and 1 at the 20. They're 4th and 1 at the 20-yard line in a tie game at home inside of roughly 5 minutes to play, and they kicked the field goal. And to me, that Jerry Falwell type conservative play call by Mike McDonald is why he's not quite ready for prime time. You go for a 37-yard field goal and give the ball back to the 49ers with 3:24 left, up 3. You're just begging to lose at that point. And sure enough, they did. I'm going to dip. I'll be right back. But you got 2 things there. I'd love to hear your guys' thoughts on the Purdy pick, number 2, and McDonald's decision to go for the field goal. As I said, I'll be back in just a minute. I got to do one thing, and I'll be right back.
Damon, I was going to say, Damon, you know how this team was covered, but when Purdy was still up in the air about whether or not he was a good quarterback. Everyone was saying that he was a check down merchant, dink and dunk, whatever you want to say. The funny thing about that is that Purdy's really the opposite. Like, he's going to make a throw where you're like, you shouldn't have thrown the ball there. Like, you're being way too aggressive. And that's what I was thinking on that interception. You just threw it to Ricky Pearsall, triple covered. It's like, what's the thought process there? Again,
the whatever triggered him to release that ball, he shouldn't have that trigger anymore. Like, Brock cannot make that throw. $53 million a year quarterbacks don't make that throw. But then that's the kind of the throw that he made in Tongus's direction at the end of the game too, even though there wasn't as much traffic in front of him. He gets away with murder there as well. I mean,
what do you make of that though? Purdy wins the game, but you don't look that great doing it.
Here's the thing. It's easy to say Brock Purdy can't do that. Brock Purdy shouldn't do that. But it's also, you got to remember, like, Brock Purdy's out there with a whole bunch of guys who were on the practice squad 5 minutes ago. Like he's got Marquez Valdez-Scantling out there. He's got Ricky Pearsall, who we're excited about, but isn't, really a proven guy. Juwan Jennings is out there showing you why he's not a $20 million a year quarterback, or wide receiver. Purdy's throwing to Russell Gage. Purdy's throwing to guys that probably shouldn't even be in the football game. So when you're doing that, you can't really force things. And it felt like he started forcing things a little. He tried to make something out of nothing when you got to just say, this plays nothing, and I can't try to force this.
Yeah, no, that's fair. And it
helped him in the touchdown, and it really hurt him in the that second interception there was just, it was insane. It was insane. Brock is now making the kind of money that means he can't make those throws anymore. Maybe he was lost in the fog of war a little bit. I don't know, but he can't do that again. This was not a good game for Brock, even though the outcome was good. And even though he had moments that were good, overall.
You thought his overall performance was bad? I would say he had bad moments. And that's so funny because I would look at it the opposite. I thought he had a great performance that was bad, muddied by 2 or 3 really bad decisions and bad throws.
But I mean, when your throws are that bad, I mean, that's just
good. No question. But I mean, they won the game. I mean, I would say overall I think, Brock Purdy's probably the number one reason they won the game, but he also might have been the main reason they would lose the game if they did.
Christian McCaffrey was the best player on the field again for the 49ers today. Without him, they would have done nothing offensively. All of their carries, all of their catches, all of the stick movement, all of the third down plays, that was Christian McCaffrey getting it done an awful lot. Defensively, I don't know who I'm giving a defensive game ball to. Maybe D. Winters even. He was all over the place today. But
Bernardo Green, I thought looked pretty good.
Yeah. I think I got to say this again. Like, it's a sneaky hard game. This was a sneaky difficult game for Purdy. I mean, no Kittle. Juwan's coming back. Ricky Pearsall's, still young receiver. They don't have Demarcus Robinson. This secondary by the Seattle Seahawks is very, very good. Julian Love plays like an all-pro when he plays the Niners. Tariq Woolen's is very good. The corner from Illinois that they have on the other side, Witherspoon, dominant corner. This is a hard game. Purdy had to make some tough throws. But yeah, he had 2 really ugly throws. I feel like the throw to Pearsall that was intercepted was just a knucklehead throw. Purdy's a gunslinger, man. Like, he's not Deacon Dunk. He's a gunslinger. And that's what he does.
Yeah. I mean, here's the thing. Do you 50-50 balls, do you want to throw them or do you not want to throw them? All right, hold on a second, guys. I'll be right back. I just got to dip for 1 minute. I'll be right back. Hold on.
Bouncing in and out here.
50-50 balls, 50-50 host.
We can dominate. We can dominate in the time being. Let's go to what we were talking about earlier, though, or what he said before. The Seattle Seahawks going for it on that 4th down or not going for it, I should say, kicking the field goal on the 4th and 1. What did you think of that decision?
I thought it was a decision that you probably don't make it home. I thought they were going to be more aggressive. By the way, I thought that it was also really good to see the 49ers not settle for a field goal late there and Shanahan still going and realizing, 4th and short means play football. 4th and short doesn't mean punt or kick anymore. It really doesn't. And in modern football, I think if you're still in the erring towards the side of being conservative on 4th down, you're going to lose a lot of games. And because the Niners weren't conservative on 4th down, and because the Seahawks were, is a big reason why the Niners got a win in a game where they probably should have walked off the field with a loss today. They got away with some football murder today. They really did. They got away with some football murder, and they'll take it. And this was one of their toughest games of the year, with one of the weirdest run-ups to the year that you're going to have, with the whole McCaffrey thing over this weekend and who's going to go, not going to go. You got all these rookies. It was really good to win that game. That win was worth about 2 wins to the 49ers based on the way their season's got to go now. New Orleans looked awful this morning. They're going to New Orleans next. So hopefully, without any fault of their own, it's a 2-0 start for the 49ers. They did what they needed to do today while they were doing a whole bunch of things that they probably shouldn't have done along the way to winning a game in Seattle.
I feel like last year, again, not to bring up last year, but it felt like they got outcoached a lot, which was odd because Kyle Shanahan's such a great coach, but especially on the defensive end with Nick Sorensen, it felt like this time they got away with the outcoaching, or they won the coaching battle this time. Boneheaded decision by the Seahawks to kick a field goal there. They were running it down the Niners' throat that drive.
Well, the winning coach today was Robert Saleh.
Yeah,
Robert Saleh did an incredible job holding the Seahawks to only 13 points. That saved the 49ers bacon this afternoon. If Robert Saleh is not Robert Saleh, if this is still Sorensen, if this is still Steve Wilks, I don't know if the Niners win today with that effort.
Yeah, I think you're right there, Damon. This was a huge win because not only is it, week one, you want to get off to a good start, but it's a division opponent. Last year, the Niners were 1-5 in the division. They lost. The only win came against Seattle, up in Seattle. So you hope that, with the 49ers schedule the way it is, if somehow they can go 5-1, 4-2 in the division, win your home games and split your road game. Maybe you take Seattle twice. Maybe you split with the Rams in Arizona. Maybe you take Arizona twice. But you got a really good shot when you win your division games. And last year, it was a horrible situation, losing 5 of the 6. So this is a huge win today. And, you did it and you didn't play your best game. I think offensively, I would give the Niners maybe a C minus grade. And on defense, I gave them a B. I would have given them an F on special teams, but they did make 1 field goal and 2 extra points. But that special teams, I thought, okay, we got a new special teams coach this year. Things should be a little bit better. And like you said earlier, I've never seen a line collapse. You'd think that was high school. I mean, they just went through. There's no way. I was a field goal kicker. You're taught to lock. I mean, you're locking. The linemen are locking arms. They can't let anybody through. Nobody gets through like that.
It was staggering collapse on the left-hand side of that line. It was staggering.
Nobody gets through it.
Unit caved in like that, I don't think, in my life.
I didn't see it in high school. My high school team it never happened. It's crazy.
He went down like timber. It was like falling back slowly. I've never seen that from an offense.
Let me ask: Is Moody on this team in New Orleans?
Debatable.
Well, I mean, I think this was.
Does Moody make it to week 2?
He shouldn't. But here's the problem with the Niners. Because he's a 3rd-round draft pick, they're afraid to cut him.
That's the thing. I don't care where it starts anymore. If this guy is still on the team because we picked him in the 3rd round, but he misses shit all the time, he shouldn't be on the team. And look, all I'm going to tell you is, we all saw the reaction from Shanahan, and clearly he was pissed, and rightfully so. People are like, oh man, look at that cut from Shanahan. He's definitely going to let him go now. No, he's not. He will be on this team next week. They're not going to cut him. And that's ridiculous. They should move on. And the fact that they've got a number in their mind about how many field goals he's allowed to miss. The block wasn't on him. That it really wasn't. The block wasn't on him. But man, that first one was a 27-yarder. I mean, come on, dude.
27-yarder from the perfect hash mark as a kicker. You like that left hash mark because it's just easy to kick versus trying to kick more from the right hash. It's a little trickier, but that's an easy kick. That is such an easy kick. It's just a chip shot. I don't know how you hit the stinking upright from 27. That's a bad miss.
I don't know. I feel like if the Niners lose this game by 3, it would be more like you know what, like that. Let's point the finger there. Like that's the issue. The Niners winning this game, I think that somehow saves Moody's job. Obviously,
it shouldn't though.
Yeah, it shouldn't matter, but
it shouldn't.
Yeah, I don't know how long the Jake Moody experience goes, but it feels like if he keeps missing just questionable field goals that just should be automatic, at some point it's just cut your loss. Cut your losses, move on. There's so many kickers in this league that can be good that aren't even on rosters right now.
By the way, you know what I would do? I would walk over to Juwan Jennings, and I'd just be like, Did you see Jackson Smith and Jigba today? That's what dudes who are worth $20 million a year look like in this league. That's what they look like. Do you think you look anything like that, Juwan Jennings? Seriously. Does what he did today remind you of one single game you've ever played in this league? No. Where was Juwan Jennings today? Where was Juwan Jennings in his 2 catches for 16 yards today?
Wasn't around.
Yeah.
I mean,
Thanks a lot, Juwan.
Yeah, I've looked at the numbers. If you look at the receivers that are making that much money, they're a lot more productive than Juwan Jennings. And I don't really want to hear Juwan Jennings, who had almost had 1,000 yards last year on a team that had no receivers and went whatever they went, 6 and whatever. I'm forgetting the record last year, but that doesn't mean that you deserve $20 million.
Yeah. There's people saying like he got hurt. Not really. The Niners had basically said, yeah, we've made up this calf injury, kind of. We know that, or maybe it is real a little bit, but
he did leave the game at some point with
shoulder.
It was
a shoulder, yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay. So now we got a whole brand new injury that wasn't even involved, and maybe this is why training camp is important, and maybe this is why you don't go jaking out and skipping out. Okay, look, this was there are no such things as bad wins, but today was a bad win. It really was. It was the Niners did not appoint themselves particularly well. They got away with football murder. Purdy did not play great. The defense was okay, only in moments.
I would say, Damon, even though you're kind of right, like there's no such thing as a bad win where like they get the win.
No. I'll take all the ugly wins over the pretty losses you can give me. Yeah. But this was not the game that now makes me feel really good about how much I like the Niners this year. I could see this breaking either way still. I mean, I really do. I could see the Niners. Hey, guess what? They're in the Super Bowl.
Well,
I could see them also being a collection of special teams mistakes, defensive disappointments, Brock throwing the poorly timed interception here, there, and fuck. I mean, I don't know. Like today was not a great day of football for the Niners. I don't think any of their coaches feel great about today.
Well, I'll say this. One thing I want to keep learning as the season goes on is what are these rookies? Because we got told that this team is going to be heavy on the rookies. We got a lot of rookies on the defense. I thought Siegel played amazing. He played great.
Siegel was good.
Stout, made some plays, but where's the defensive line? Where's CJ West?
No,
where's Albert Collins? Where's Where's Michael Williams? Like, where are those guys you invested early on in the draft? I didn't hear a name called. Kalia Davis made a nice play earlier in the game, but I didn't hear any of the rookie defensive linemen's names called the entire day.
Chase Lucas make this roster today? Was he out there at all? I didn't see him. Nick Martin didn't even dress for this game today. Why? I think he would have helped. I mean, look, it was the win that they needed, but it didn't roll out smoothly. Great opening drive by Shanahan, taking it up the entire length of the field, and then there wasn't a lot of offense until the end of the game. I thought that there were some moments where just predictability and creativity just started dying on 3rd and short, where you knew McCaffrey was going to get the ball again, and now you're overusing McCaffrey a little bit too much, and look out for that. I'm glad that they won the game. Had they lost the game, a lot of people would have been really, really pissed off about this one. I think people are kind of still pissed off about the win. It was the bare minimum acceptable effort from the Niners in a win that they needed and they got. Congratulations.
Well, I think if you look at it one way, I agree with you that it was an ugly win, but a win on the road in a division is I think is huge. Even though they didn't play well, you look at the schedule, and if this team is not going to be the same team in week 12 that it is right now, because these guys that are playing, these younger guys, are going to be a lot more experienced. I remember 1981 season, the Niners started 3 defensive rookie DBs, Ronnie Lott and Carlton Williamson and Eric Davis. All 3 were rookies, and they won the Super Bowl. Now, these guys, if they can, by the time you're playing week 12, that's almost a full college season. You're no longer a rookie when it comes to the NFL in week 14. You've played a full college season by week 14. So this team has to, with the schedule, if they can get to 7-3 after 10 games, and there's a few losses in there. There's probably Tampa and the Rams and I was looking at their schedule a little earlier. They got the Rams twice in the first 10 games. They got the Texans in Houston. Those are probably their toughest games, the Rams, the Texans, and Tampa Bay. But the rest of the schedule is, pretty easy. Let's say they go 6-4, 7-3, and then they get Ayuk back somewhere around that time. They get Robinson's back in week 4. Kittle's hopefully healthy. I think the Niners are going to be a different team. I think this team's going to look similar to the way they look today for the first few weeks of the season.
Yeah, well, I mean, September is like the new preseason, right? You don't know exactly what you're getting. You can't really depend on anything yet. All the young guys will, get their reps, and they will be better, I think, as the year goes along. Look, like I'm really glad that Nick Bosa did something at the end of this game to win this game, because he, other than that really nice tackle of Jackson Smith and Jigba when he read that screen well, didn't get a lot from him. I mean, Sam Darnold was sacked once today. Once. He's a statue. You got to get to Sam Darnold more than once. I was disappointed by what I saw. A stand-up play patty cake defensive line. I thought that Jake Brendel screamed, "You should have signed Drew Dolman," all game long. Jake Brendel is so replaceable that I can't believe they haven't replaced him yet.
I thought another thing from this game is that we saw Christian McCaffrey dominate just the touches. Just he is the security plan. Like, he is the guy. Like, it's so important that the 49ers have him, because he leads the team in rushing and he leads the team in receiving. Like, it's like he's going to get the most targets and he's going to get the most rushes. Like, this guy is the offense right now, and he's the only guy who's really he's the security valve. I mean, he just is the guy. So I hope he stays healthy this season.
I noticed that since I left the room, actually more people showed up.
Sam Darnold is a statue. He is. Sam Darnold is not fleet of foot. He does not run well. Today, his over-under on rushing yards was 8.5. He went way over. He had 16 rushing yards.
What did I miss?
I mean, here's the thing. I think what you missed was, I'm glad that the 49ers won, but they weren't very impressive today. They weren't good. They didn't get to Darnold, but at the very end, we didn't hear any of the rookie defensive linemen, who literally are the only guys we've been talking about have to play well all year long. This was, if you can have a bad win, it was a bad win. It was a bad win. The Niners did not play great today on the way to winning this game. Thank God that they won it.
It's interesting. I hear what you're saying, Damon, but I kind of think they really did play well. From the standpoint of, this is a very young defense, and like Robert Saleh stepping in, I thought Saleh kind of showed what he's got. The special teams is a circus, and that one of the questions I popped over on KMBR and did my post game radio hit with them for a couple minutes. So sorry for that, guys. I didn't mean to jump off, but one of the questions they asked me over there is, what do you do with Jake Moody? Have you guys tackled that question here? I'd love to know what the three of you guys would do with Jake Moody. I told them that I love Jake Moody, but whatever the Niner brass does here, maybe you guys agree, maybe you don't agree, please tell me. Whatever the brass does here is not going to go unnoticed by the players. Either the players are going to be like, hey, this is a very forgiving, team, and they love their guys and they're going to back their guys even in downtime, or this is going to be like, hey, zero tolerance for this crap, and he's gone. And it's a matter of what message do you want to send? Do you want to send the man, this is a great forgiveness kind of front office, or do you want to send these guys don't F around kind of a message? And I'm fine with sending we don't want to mess around message. And you got to decide what you can live with. Can you live with Jake Moody going somewhere else and having a really good career? I can live with that now. I'm fine with that now. I don't know how you guys are, but I'm okay if he goes somewhere else and succeeds. So I'd cut him and move on. And I think it's already going to be too much drama. You don't need any more drama. Just as soon as you cut him and admit your mistake, that you're going to have to fall on the sword for like 10 minutes, like 7 or 8 questions, and then it's going to be done, never to be spoken from again. So I would move on from him. I know that sounds cold, but maybe I'm cold.
They had an easier time moving on from a quarterback that they spent 3 first-round picks on than they do a kicker who they took in the 3rd round. And it's really remarkable. If you're asking, you should eliminate all the things that could come back to haunt you. I think that Jake Moody is no longer an asset. I think he's a detriment to the 49ers. We'll see.
What would you guys do?
I think it's still close. I think you still give him. I was saying to Damon, I think the win, somehow, even though this makes no sense, the win saves Moody from the cut. Because if the Niners lose this game, it's pretty easy to point the finger at Jake Moody and say, your layup missed field goal fucked us. You were the reason why we lost this game. I think the win saves him, but the leash should be short by now. I mean, it should be pretty damn short. I think Brant Boyer in one of the press conferences said, something along the lines of like in the preseason when he made the game winner after missing earlier in the game, that kind of like saved his butt, or like, he really like fought his way out of that. Like, it seems like they kind of are in the same mindset of, he's kind of on a short leash right now. Like there is some expectations that if he continues to fail, he's going to get cut. So I think that you give him a little bit more of a leash here in this next game. But if it continues to be shaky, and he's, last 22 kicks, last 32 kicks, he's 11 of 20 or whatever it was, you cut him. Because at some point it's over, and you got to try to actually have a real kicker because there's a lot available to you.
I mean, if you're already living in the next time he misses a big kick, we're cutting him world, that means you should cut him today.
Yeah, that's where he's at. There's a lot of pressure. There's a lot in the air. I mean, even the commentators on the game today were talking about it. Every time he came out, it was like, oh boy, here comes the drama. There's just drama hanging around him. I don't know, the different regimes, back in the 90s when the Niners were winning Super Bowls in the 80s and 90s, they didn't really play around. They drafted Doug Bryan from Cal, and they cut him after he missed 2 game-winning field goals in the middle of the season. I think it was in October of 95. He was cut pretty early on in the season. And
they won the Super Bowl the year before with him.
Yeah, they won him with him, and they cut him the next year. So it's just kind of what the regime, it's a different regime, Bill Walsh, George Seifert, that regime, Carmen policy, they didn't really take prisoners back. I mean, they took no prisoners. It's just like, hey, you produce or you move on. I mean, this is the same team that didn't re-sign Jerry Rice, Ronnie Lott, Roger Craig, traded Joe Montana. But now we're worried about Jake Moody.
Well, and Danny, it's like it's like, is stubborn a good thing or a bad thing? Well, it depends. If you're stubborn about holding up certain standards, maybe it's a good thing, right? Hey, this guy's not just, he wants to hold everybody to a certain standard. He's stubborn about that. But if you're stubborn about something that's not a good thing, then stubborn's bad. And I feel like Kyle Shanahan and John Lynch are very stubborn when it comes to this. It's like John Lynch, they're trying to create like their own reality. Like, this is reality over here. We're not going to pay attention to that. We're going to have our own reality. I mean, John Lynch was literally asked about Jake Moody a few weeks ago and was like, I expect Jake to be the kicker here for years to come. What?
Really?
Years to come? Why not? I mean, I understand, you want to be vindicated for drafting a kicker in the 3rd round, but that's so pretending not to notice that this kicker has been incredibly
right.
streaky and he's not consistent. Shanahan called a game 2 weeks ago. Like today, it's like I would feel differently if we didn't have a precursor highlight that kind of like a foreshadowing, of some sorts, but we did. We saw this guy in Vegas in a dome a couple weeks ago have a 36-yard field goal or 26-yard field goal that wouldn't have been good from 30 and would have missed badly by 35 from 35.
Who's the big Jake Moody fan outside the front office? Right? Who is singing songs about Jake Moody and how good he is besides the two guys trying to make it and hope that it happens,
I
right?
would imagine his mother.
Mrs. Moody, there's one, Dan.
Maybe Harbaugh.
All right. So, by the way, I see.
But I mean, it's like, come on. I mean, he and John's like, we had a people have said we didn't have a real competition. John, we were at the practices. We saw the guys kick all the kicks.
All
the
right.
guy who lost the competition made a higher percentage.
I gotta
That's why
go.
we're calling it a
I gotta go. You guys, hopefully, we'll be back for what time are we going with Wake Up, Larry? Monday morning.
9:15.
9:15. We'll see you back across both channels. Dan, good to see you. Kevin, good to see you.
Are you auditioning kickers right there?
We're gonna take Jack in the backyard and see if he can do a better job. Guys, thanks very much. This was one of those. Thank God they did it. Thank God they won the game, because if they didn't, there'd be an awful lot of hell to pay after that sort of performance. It was just good enough to win a game they needed to win. Congratulations. Football's back. That's good. Take care.
Alrighty. Take care. There you go.
There are some people in the world that defend Jake Moody, but I don't really understand how you can. You can. I do understand the sentiment of, like, you drafted a kicker, like, let him fail completely, but, like, don't cut him short. But at this point, if you're going to try to tell me that he's anything but terrible since he's come to the league, you're gaslighting us. You're gaslighting me, because he has been terrible, and his field goal percentage has been shaky, and he misses random kicks from any distance. It's just, he's a complete question mark. Yes, he'll make a big kick. He set the record in the Super Bowl for the longest kick in Super Bowl history. He has a leg. Like, you don't have to tell. I'm not pretending that he doesn't have a leg. He has a fucking rocket for a leg, but he's inconsistent accurate wise, and that's just the truth. I mean, that's a statistic. It's not like, oh, you're just a hater. It's like, no, that's the truth. That's what's happened. So the real decision is, do you let him keep going? Do you continue on this path or not? And I think I can understand wanting to, but at the same time, if the Niners were to cut him tomorrow, I'd say, hey man, they cut their losses there. Like,
look at it this way. If tomorrow, or if today, there was an NFL roundtable discussing who's the best kicker, what do you think they would start with? Do you think they would start with, hey, who's got the highest percentage, or who kicked the longest field goal? Right? They're going to go with who's got the better percentage. Yeah. It's not about the longest field goal.
Cam Little, or whatever his name is not the best kicker in the league because he made a 70-yarder in the
right.
Right.
The best kicker is not the guy with the longest field goal on record. The best field goal kicker is the guy with the best percentage. Exactly. I mean, that's what's the best kicker. So this whole let's not be. It's like being lured into a guy in baseball who can hit the ball 1,000 feet, but he hits 062.
Let's just be honest about this. Be honest about how this whole thing is with kicker. Jake Moody is an excellent kicker, or has that ability. He was the Lou Grosso winner at Michigan. He was, money Moody, right? The problem with the field goal kicker is it's so much mental. It's so much mental.
Wait, Danny, wait a second. I forgot to even preface this. Danny is talking place kicking right now.
Yeah.
And if we could, where is the screen that gives him a larger portion of the screen?
Oh boy.
How can we make us small and Danny big? Because Danny's talking kicking. This is a former kicker talking kicking, Kev. Is there a way we can isolate Danny into a bigger box? Yes.
I think I got rid of that layout.
Oh, damn it.
Oh,
go ahead, Danny.
No, I'm just saying it's such a mental part of the game, and that because it's so mental, it affects the entire team, because the rest of the team is not feeling great about it. And when a guy's in a slump and he goes out there and the team is, kind of, they don't know what to expect. They're not confident it's going to be made. And so it makes the rest of the team and the rest of the game different. If he makes that 27-yarder, the entire complexity of the game changes, because the Niners are no longer chasing the whole game down by 3. They're either up by 3. I mean, he makes that kick. They go up 10-7 just before the half. He misses. Seattle gets the ball and comes all the way down and goes up 10-7. Totally different the rest of the game. and it affects the play calling. It affects the defensive calls. It's just, you can't have a guy that, you think, oh, kicker doesn't mean that much, to screw up that badly and almost screw up the entire game and probably changed a little bit of the game plan. If you noticed, Kyle was like,
"What do you do though? What do you do? You call Justin Tucker and pretend that you're that morally."
Why don't you answer the question? What would you do?
What would I do? I would
Danny?
I'd bring in Curtis Joseph back, and I would just say,
Greg Joseph.
Greg Joseph back, and I would have an honest competition for the week, and whoever makes the most field goals is just gonna be the kicker, and that's it. And then if Moody somehow survives and he gets better over the next few weeks, you hang on to him. But the problem is, I think you kind of mentioned it, Larry, it's going to be hanging over the team and him all year. The next miss is that the time you get rid of him?
Well, let's not forget, Greg Joseph essentially is the Niners' insurance plan on Moody. Like he's gonna bail them out if Moody continues to fail. So it's just a matter of time. It's a matter of time and decision making for the Niners. When do they pull the plug? And it's going to be him.
Why take any chances? I think it's like watching this guy miss gimme field goals is like having like an elderly parent that has fallen asleep at the wheel a couple times and he didn't kill himself. It's like, you know what? You're going to go for the third? We're going to go for the We're going for the. We're gonna let you gonna let Grandpa Bob drive the pickup again. He fell asleep 2 times in the last week. Yeah, he didn't kill himself, but he's run off the road a couple times. We waiting for him to kill somebody. I mean, what are we waiting for? The guy can't do the job. The job. You would think that the kickers of today are the greatest kickers in the history of the world, because kickers today make 55-yard field goals look really easy. Except for Jake Moody, who makes 26-yard field goals look really hard. So I'm done, man. It's like you can't have high standards if you're going to have such low standards as well. You can't say, hey guys, we have really high standards, and then just keep watching a guy fail repeatedly and then just do nothing. It's not. First of all, if the Niners are treating this like Jake Moody was drafted in the 3rd round, had a 5-year career where he was one of the NFL's best kickers, and has just hit the skids. No, that's not what's happened. He has been shaky basically his entire career. I mean, what's his longest streak of kicks without a miss? It's not very long.
A couple years ago, he was doing pretty good until that Cleveland game in Cleveland.
Yeah, he missed a 41-yarder that day.
Yeah, he had not missed much at all before that, and then he just kind of went. But
I don't know.
I think you make a good point there about Grandpa driving, falling asleep.
Yeah,
it's a good one, huh?
Here's Kyle.
You can use that over at NorCal. You want to bust that out with Lou? You bust that out.
This is Kyle asked about it on the presser after the game.
Let's see what he said.
Well, obviously, I was disappointed that we missed 2 field goals. I mean, we missed one, which was a big miss, especially I think we were inside the 10. I want to say it was 27-yarder. The next one, Love made a hell of a move. I think it was Love. Splitting that D-gap. Looked like he jumped over the guys. I saw it on the scoreboard. But we got to clean up that protection. That's everyone there. That one wasn't Jake. That's just the whole operation. But, yeah, we got to do better.
You went for it on 4 several times. So that just we're not going to kick a field goal if I can help it.
I don't think so. I mean, I want to say they were 4th and 2. So I don't think that changed it. I mean, would have kicked it if it was more than that.
Is Jake in any question that figure in any question in your mind whether he's going to be back in the team?
No question. Well, obviously.
So Jake, Shanahan did go for it a couple times after that, right? So he earlier in the drive where Jake's field goal got blocked by Julian Love, the Niners didn't go for a field goal on 4th and 2 from the 30. Instead, Purdy found Luke Farrell for for a whatever, a 4 or 5 yard gain or whatever it was, 6 yard gain or whatever, to move the chains. But then we saw Shanahan on the next drive go for 4th and 2 from the 17, and Purdy threw the out to CMC. Just a perfect. That was another, once again, the people that are going to sit there and go, Brock Purdy sucked. Really? That 4th and 2 pass from the 17 to CMC was an absolute high pressure dime on 4th down, and that kept the drive alive. And then Moody, eventually they went for the field goal on 4th and goal from the 13. He made the 32-yarder to cap the 11-play drive to tie the game at 10. But at that point, Shanahan, 4th and 2 from the 17, I thought for sure he would have gone for the field goal. The fact that he didn't go for the field goal there means he was losing confidence in Moody, don't you think? I mean, it's a tie game. It's they're down 3. They only needed a field goal. He'd rather take a chance on giving the ball over on downs in the 4th quarter than have his field goal kicker come on for what would have been like
a 30-yarder or
17. Yeah,
17,
32 or something like that.
35. Yeah.
Yeah. Something like that. You can't, it's like you can say on the podium anything you want.
Yeah. No question.
How you call the game tells us how you feel about your kicker.
Yeah. 100%. It's one thing in the preseason for the Niners to roll out Jake Moody on some of those kicks when it's a deep kick and you're like, oh, they could go for it, or they're going to go to Moody. Oh, they're going to Moody. It's like, that doesn't mean shit. But in the regular season, when you're 4th and 2 and you need a field goal, or you could use a field goal and you just elect to go for it. I'm not even saying that's a bad decision, but it's definitely a consideration that you have to make. And the Niners definitely are losing confidence. And if they're not losing confidence in Jake Moody, I don't know how you couldn't. Like, how could you not lose confidence? The guy.
Yeah. What would it take?
Yeah. What would it take? Like, well, what does a kicker do? You either make it or you miss it. There's not very many other options. It's like, so every time Moody misses it, they're going to lose confidence. And that, I think you're 100% right. It did reflect in the game plan.
Yeah. I mean, you can see Shanahan's getting more and more pissed off, and players are getting more and more pissed off. Here's the thing. You can stay with the kicker till hell freezes over, but you're going to lose the rest of the team. You're going to lose the room. So it's in a lot of ways, we'll see. I mean, I don't know. I don't know what to say about it. I personally have seen enough, and it's like, you just got to live. What can you live with? I mean, I think that the 49ers have a lot riding on this season. If you don't think so, then maybe you just stay with Jake and just let him do whatever the fuck he's going to do. But I think a lot's riding on this year. I think this is maybe their last best chance to win the Super Bowl. Trenton Williams ain't playing forever. George Kittle ain't playing forever. Nick Bosa ain't playing forever. Fred Warner ain't playing forever. CMC ain't playing forever. And when I say they ain't playing forever, I'm saying they're probably not. None of those guys are going to be playing in 3 years. So you better fucking dial up some fucking urgency on this season and start treating this like your last fucking shot at the whole fucking thing, because that's probably reality. You know what I mean? That's reality. And so this softball of like, well, nothing matters and more chances and more chances. Let's give them more chances. One of these days, Jed's going to yank your sheets and you're not going to have any more chances. And then you're going to sit there and go, I wonder, maybe I shouldn't have wasted all my fucking chances on my kicker that can't kick for shit. Just think about that. Think about that. This guy's going to be good enough to somehow hit stride and become this great kicker and one of the best kickers in football. No. This guy has no confidence. And what can you live with? Can you live with this guy kicking you out of 2 or 3 wins this year? I can't. Or can you live with the fact that maybe he's going to go somewhere else and be good? I can live with that. I can live with Jake Moody being a really good kicker for the freaking Atlanta Falcons for the next decade. I can live with that. I can't live with him costing this 49er team in what might be their last best chance at a Super Bowl 2 or 3 wins. The difference between going to the Super Bowl and not going to the Super Bowl is probably going to be the difference between hosting a playoff game and playing that game in Philly or Green Bay. So let's get serious, guys. Let's dial it up. Let's not, tomorrow's promised to nobody. And if you guys go down with with this bad kicker, you're fools. You're total fools. So I don't know. We'll see where this goes. The questions are going to start getting a little bit more pointed, and eventually the questions are going to come from the owner. They're not going to come from Grant Cohn, Larry Krueger, or Dave Lombardi. Wait, it wasn't coming from Dave, but you know what I'm saying? It's not coming from the media. It's not. It's going to be coming from Jed and Dr. John and Denise, and they're going to be like, "Hey, Kyle. Hey, John. What the fuck?" And then what?
It's truly an unprecedented situation. It's unprecedented because the Niners, if you guys remember that draft, like there was quotes where like the Niners kind of said during that draft, like after that draft class, like, oh, there's only a certain amount of guys that we think that can really make our roster and have a shot of playing and making this roster. That was like quotes that I forget either Lynch or Shanahan had said during that 2023 NFL draft. I think was that 2023 or 2024. Might have been 2023. Yeah,
23.
Jake Moody was a draft pick not only because they needed a kicker, but they thought like, oh, we need to draft someone who's going to make our roster. So instead of trying to get depth or get a real player who's not on special teams, they elected for a kicker because they thought they're filling a need. They got to do this because there's not a lot of players that are good enough to make this team. But NFL things change fast and players get old, and we've seen this unbeatable force of the NFC West become a six win team. So this whole thing is unprecedented where they have a kicker they don't want to let go, but they really just got to let go because it doesn't matter. If you make your kicks, you make your kicks. If you don't, you don't. At this point, I'd ride him one more game, but if the Niners cut him tomorrow, I wouldn't be shocked at this point.
I would say there's a couple things I would do out of this game. And I want your guys' thoughts on this. I would sign Kendrick Bourne because you absolutely need another receiver, and you need another receiver who might be able to play pretty soon. So I'm not saying he's the answer, but I would sign him. That's one. Two, I would cut Jake Moody. Three, I'd go sign Damian Martinez. After watching CMC today, he's not going to last until Halloween. If you think CMC is going to last, you're nuts. Look at this is where Shanahan gets stubborn beyond belief. You just gave CMC 22 carries and nine receptions. You targeted him 10 times. So you basically tried to hand him the ball. You gave him almost 32.
You led the team in rushing and targets.
32 touches. And Robinson had 9 carries and one. It was 32 touches to 10 touches. This is not going to work. That CMC's not going to get. You're not getting to the finish line with CMC if you give him 30 touches.
Yeah, he had 9 receptions and 22 carries.
Well, here's the thing.
22 carries for 3.1 yards a carry.
Yeah, 3.1.
He's running it into the wall.
We can sit here and yell and scream about the touches, and I agree. Like it's a lot of touches. He led the team in targets. He led this team in rushing yards. It's pretty crazy for a running back, and it wasn't even fucking close. Like it's like he dominated both sides. But the Niners need him. Like with what they have going on offense right now, CMC is the offense. Like if CMC is not in this game, do you think they have a chance of winning this game? I mean, maybe, but CMC was the guy they went to on third down.
All the more reason to go get another back because you need other backs. I mean, you can't use it. I mean, here's the bottom line on it. You're going to use, you can either use CMC liberally and have him last the whole year, or you can use him a lot up front and then have him die, and have him be gone. And then you will use Robinson a lot. You're just going to use him without CMC. So what I'm saying is, go get another useful back that you can absolutely use, and they're out there. And carry one less backup offensive lineman, and get another back and utilize that back. I mean, you had 10 targets for CMC. Are you telling me that, and none for Garendo, but you had Garendo up? You telling me that Garendo, who caught 16 of you threw him 16 passes last year, he caught 15. He's one of the best receiving running backs in all of pro football. And he's fast as heck. Faster probably than McCaffrey at this point. You can't mix in 4 or 5 throws for Garendo. It's all going to be CMC. I almost got the feeling today that between CMC, Juszczyk, Kittle, and that was pretty much until he started going to Pearsall a little bit late. There was a portion of this game where it seemed like the only guys he was throwing to were CMC, Juszczyk, and Kittle.
Right.
So I don't know.
Yeah,
you got to spread the punishment around. Otherwise, CMC's not going to last. I mean, I'll be interested to see what if he shows up on the injury report in 2 days. He took a ton of hits today.
Yeah. Yeah. It's like you said, he's not going to last the whole season at this pace. And they're going to have to go more like 60-40 with split, and the problem is they couldn't do anything with the ball today. And so they just relied completely on McCaffrey to get open on the passes. I'd like to see more of Pearsall. I thought the whole Brock to Ricky looked pretty good today, especially that last 45-yard pass, that out and up was a beautiful thing. Beautiful route by Pearsall and a beautiful pass by Brock. Why isn't he, doing this? You look at Sean McVay, the way he runs the same offense, but he will get the ball to Puka Nacua, or when Kupp was there, he will spread it around, but he will get the ball to those guys, whether it's a quick slant, an out pattern, just quick passes. You got to be able to do that with this Niner offense. It's almost like Brock is waiting and looking. I mean, a couple plays that looked great. I mean, the pass that he got out to CMC for the first down was beautiful. He was obviously waiting for him to break. He was, had his eyes on him the whole time. But there's got to be other guys that can get open besides CMC. I mean, you go back to this Moody thing. He's drafted 3rd round, 99th pick. Puka Nacua went the end of the 5th with the 177th pick. And we're picking a kicker? I mean, the 49ers have got to find receivers that can separate. And they have one with Pearsall. And unfortunately, Robinson's out for a couple more games.
He's going to help, though.
He's going to help.
Marcus will help.
So when you get DeMarcus Robinson back, plus Pearsall,
Jordan Watkins.
Yeah. Then I think things get a little bit better with the offense because nobody's separating except Pearsall and CMC. That's it. And Kittle. And then he goes down. So
I mean, wide receivers today accounted for only 6 catches, 4 from Pearsall, 2 for Jennings.
Yeah, because
they didn't even throw a pass to a wide receiver other than those. So the other thing in this game is the 49ers got a good defensive effort out of Robert Saleh, but the Niners only got 1 sack. It was from Bosa. They only had 2 hits, one from Gross Matos and one from Bosa all day, where Seattle also had 1 sack, but they at least got 8 hits on Purdy. I got to see more. I mean, did Mikael Williams, was he there? Was he out there? Was Huff out there? I know Huff was out there because he got penalized, but I mean, I didn't see any really pass rush up front. I mean, that's a problem. That is a problem. Got to have some pass rush.
No, yeah. I mean, that's one of the things I was saying when you were gone. Rookie. We were told a lot about the rookies. I felt like Marquis Siegel really, he actually was 3rd on the team in terms of total tackles. So Siegel stepped up in a big way, and he was kind of the last guy that we thought was going to start of the bunch that were potentially going to start. So I thought he looked really good, but you invested some big picks on that defensive line. And I'm not saying necessarily that they all play terrible because I didn't watch, it's hard to watch every single player on every single down, but didn't hear Mikael Williams' name called once. Didn't hear CJ West's name called once. Didn't really see Alfred Collins out there. Khalid Davis made a play, which is nice, but I know it's their first NFL game, so you can't really dump on them yet. But that's something you're gonna have to watch for, because those defensive linemen, specifically Michael Williams, like, you got to see something from them.
They combined those three top tier defensive linemen that the Niners invested highly in, combined for 2 total tackles, no pressures, no TFLs, no sacks, no TFLs, no pressures, and 2 total tackles the entire game out of Collins, Williams, and West. West absolutely got shut out. He recorded nothing, a complete goose egg. I don't know. I'm not saying that these, guys are horrible or anything. It's their first game, but they didn't get a whole lot out of their rookies today.
We should mention that we won our sleeper lineup. I forgot we should have mentioned that earlier. We had 3 sleeper. I'm pulling it up right now. We had 3 sleeper lineups, and this was one of them that hit. Jackson Smith-Njigba over Kittle anytime touchdown. I think that counted.
Kittle did not. That did not hit, right? Oh no, he
did.
did. Yeah, he scored.
Touchdown. Yeah.
So Jackson Smith and Njigba got what? How many yards?
He ended up with 124. So he killed it. Wasn't even close. 50.
Doing well for the Krug KMBR Fantasy League. Also kicked ass today.
Kittle anytime touchdown. That cashed barely. Purdy, he scrambled enough for over 12 yards, and then Pearsall over 3.5 receptions. I think he had, what did he have? He had 4? Yeah, he had 4 receptions, so he just cashed it.
So we hit on that.
10 to win 87.
Now, the other one that I thought we hit, didn't we? We didn't hit on the one where I had Charbonnet over 32 yards.
You might have. Let me see.
Yeah, I had that one too. I had Charbonnet over 32 yards. Oh no, because I had CMC on an anytime touchdown.
Yeah, the 2 that we lost were Cooper Kupp didn't hit over 3.5 receptions, and another one, McCaffrey didn't have an anytime touchdown. So this sleeper promo code Larry.
There you go. Sleeper promo code Larry, and thanks to Sleeper for being a proud sponsor of the Krug Show. Use the promo code Larry. Sleeper will match your first deposit up to $100. The link's in the description. Terms and conditions do apply. All right. Have you gotten through any of the supers, or should we hit the supers?
No, we haven't hit any supers yet.
Are you serious?
We got a lot to get through.
We got a lot of supers here, Danny. Do you want to go speed round on the supers here? You want to go supers right here, Kev, or what do you think?
Yeah, just we'll read them and then we'll comment if we have a comment.
Okay, here we go. We're firing away on the supers. Get to the top of the list here. There we go. Fuji Simeon, Dan, can you come out of retirement and kick? $1.99 to say that. Fuji Simeon, your take on Moody. Does he get cut or is he safe? How about he gets safely cut? How about he gets cut, but we're safe? Humdinger, great handle. The Moody Blues' new album is called Jake Sucks. It's good stuff. Good stuff. We got this one.
Nights
Gold
and
Rush.
Saturn.
Some Purdy as last year. What the hell is excuse me about that. Same Purdy as last year. What the hell is he thinking? Those interceptions were painful. Sonny Desai says, hey, 1999. We got so lucky. Tongas pulls it away, catch. Bosa pushes the guy back. Had a hard time moving the ball in the air downfield. Can't rely solely on CMC, and Seattle's D-line was in our backfield all day. Need to be much better.
I don't like playing this was a bad win. Like, I don't think there's such thing as a bad win, and I don't like the unlucky thing because the Niners had a lot of unlucky games last year where they lost because of just one or two things. So I'll take a lucky win all day.
Niner fans, Niner fan 5. Beal needs to be cut. He was inactive today. He's supported to be he was supposed to be the greatest run defender ever and great special team player. If he wasn't up for this game, what's the point of a roster spot? I kind of agree with that.
Well, I mean, he was supposed to be the greatest run defender ever. I mean,
Well, I don't know about that.
Who said that?
Yeah, I mean that's kind of crap.
Niner fan.
Wasn't he drafted in the 5th round, 6th round or something?
But I mean, seriously, you kept this guy and you cut Sebastian Valdez, and then you make this guy inactive, and he's supposed to be a good special teamer. Corey Wiggs, Trent looked really old, Larry, no legs, held a lot. He had that one on the toss to Robinson where he got out front and he looked super fast. So I don't know about that, but he is getting old. I mean, that's the urgency of this thing. You got to get this, dial up your urgency, because, this whole I got to be honest. I don't know how you guys felt about this. A few weeks ago when Shanahan was on with Sirius XM and he's like, I hope we can find our way to the playoffs. It's like, that's not the standard you need to set. That's even if you thought that, I wouldn't say that. It's like, that's not the standard. The standard should be get to the number 1 seed in the NFC and have the playoff run roll through your place. And then you got a great shot. That's what happened a couple years ago when you went to the Super Bowl. Detroit came here. Green Bay came here. And you were good enough to vanquish them, barely, but did, and got to the Super Bowl. You really think you're going to Philly? How did that work out for you? You think you're going to Green Bay? You think you're going to Detroit? You think you can go on the road and do this? You're not going that good. So, and you're not that talented. So, yeah, the Niners better reassess this whole, I know they're going after it. Heck, I mean, it's not like they're trying not to win or anything. They're trying to win. But this kind of hey, let's improve as we go. No, I don't want to cough up a bunch of games early in the year because you're too wed and stubborn to get rid of your crappy kicker. Move on from your kicker. And if it costs you games and you have to go to Philly, it's probably going to cost you a Super Bowl berth. And you're
most definitely, if you got to go to Philly, you're done.
Yeah, I mean, seriously, your best shot is to get another back, ease off the throttle on the use of CMC, do what they did today. You saw what they did. If you didn't, go check it out. They gave one guy 10, 12 touches. They gave the other guy 10, 12 touches. Do that. Give him 10, 12 touches and get somebody else that you trust. Don't put this whole thing on him or you're not getting there. I mean, Who cares if you have a big September with CMC if he's not if CMC doesn't make it to Halloween, but he has a great September. Were you smart in the way you utilized him? No. You got to get through the season. Yeah. I mean, look at Harbaugh and the Chargers. They're trying to run Omari and Hampton. Did they run him into the ground? No, they gave him 10, 12 carries. Okay, that was Corey Wiggs. We got this one from Harry Johnson. Yes. Defense looks bigger, faster, will only get better. Okay. Eric Bachniars. How does Moody stay on this team? Lair, how are we doing with CJ West? The CJ West I hate quarterback shirts. Yeah, Kev, we've got some people who want new merch. Can we come up with an I hate quarterback CJ West t-shirt for the Krug Show store?
We can try.
Kev, I'm putting you in charge. LOL. That's Eric. So
I hate quarterbacks from the inactive list.
Yeah.
CJ.
Yeah. I hate quarterbacks, especially when I don't make any tackles. Let's not make fun of CJ. He's too tough. Niner fans, Beal needs to be cut. Wow, all this anti-Beal talk. He's supposed to be a great run defender and special teams player. If he wasn't up for this one, he was wasting a roster spot.
I think that was the same one, wasn't it? Is that the same one?
Might just double tap that.
I think he doubled. That's what happens. People just, they give once, they give twice. Come on Friday. CMC, Ricky, Brock had 2 weapons, 75% of the game. That's why Brock pressed. None of the other wide receivers get anywhere close to open.
Exactly. They never
Probably
get open.
Truth in that. Dimitrov. Pearsall is nasty. Love that kid. Thomas, can you give a breakdown on how the rookies played? Well, I thought Siegel played pretty well. I thought Stout had the toughest assignment. I thought he played really well. Now, Stout also gave up some catches And it wasn't going to be perfect because he had the toughest assignment of the day. He had to guard Cooper Kupp out of the slot, and he had to stay in against the run, and their run game was really, really good. But I thought he made a number of plays. So I liked what I saw from Stout and from Siegel. Martin was inactive. West, I didn't see him do anything. Mikell, same with Collins. Connor Colby came off the bench in a pinch for Pooney, but just for a very short amount of time, a play or two. Jordan James didn't play. Jordan Watkins didn't play. Is there any other rookies that I'm leaving off there, Kev? Danny, do you remember?
CJ West didn't play, right?
No, he played. He just didn't.
Oh, he did. Okay.
He didn't do anything. As far he didn't get on the stat sheet.
You know, the one thing I want to say about Upton Stout, he got called for the PI in the end zone on third down. Then it led to a touchdown. Whatever happened to the not catchable ball anymore? Does nobody call that anymore? I mean, come on. The guy was 8 yards out of bounds.
Right. The guy, if Cooper Kupp had been in the absolute corner of the end zone, he would have had to leap about 50 inches in the air to get a finger on that ball.
Yeah.
And
why does nobody call that anymore?
I don't get that. That to me was not a catchable ball. I agree. Heck Dell says, got ourselves a tight end too? No. I mean, they don't. I mean, Farrell is a blocker, but they don't have much of a receiver. I guess Tongas. I mean, heck, I'll say this. Tongas is a good receiver. Tongas is a good receiver. You saw it tonight. He's got good hands. Or today. JC Mania, Jake Tongas, can you stay? Can you stay the other
Jakes?
In other words, you asking Tongas to be the kicker? Is that what it is? We got this one.
The tale of two Jakes.
Bill Rose.
Seriously.
Need more points off of long drives. Yeah, no question. We got this one. Fuji, Simi, and Larry and Kev. What were you drinking for the game?
I was drinking a coffee.
I was just drinking ice water today. I had a lot of ice water. I was powering down some ice water. It was hot out here. Norris Mitchell. What's up, Norris? We got this one from Dimitar Dimitrov. How about some more play action? Everyone's going to be on CMC anyway. Kyle should have something in that genius playbook. Stop being a chicken. Jesus. Didn't you seem, well, I'll look for our breakdown tonight, but didn't it seem like Brock was under center a lot more than in the shotgun? Seemed like last year he was in the shotgun a lot more. Today, he seemed like he was under center a lot more.
I feel like they were prioritizing the run game, and they were doing a lot of play action. There was a couple times where Purdy had to make some tough throws because they fought through the play action and were right in his lap. But yeah, I feel like they were really trying to run the ball down. The run game was imperative in this one because they don't really have depth at receiver, so I don't really blame them.
James Foster says, why no penalty on Love's blocked field goal? It seems like he tried to jump and kicked down Hennessy. How did they get over the top on Hennessy? You're not supposed to vault yourself by using another man's body to push yourself up in the air. But they clearly, somebody over there can either really jump or they use some leverage to get way high because they went right over the top of the cover of the blocking.
Well, he kind of fell back too. He fell back. So
you're saying that they just kind of stuffed him. They kind of
stuffed and leaped like a little bit.
We got this one. Krug, Ricky P, baby. Told you he will be a top 15 wide receiver. He had like 40 yards until that last play in the second half. I was kind of wondering, where is he? And then he came alive. I'm rooting for him, man. I like him. I don't, it's not, I don't root against him. That's for sure. Heckdell says Sam Aquinu's strip changed the momentum of the game. That was a very great hustle play by Aquinu for sure.
And then Siegel pounced on it. And
pounced on it.
That was huge great play to see as a rookie. A lot of these guys, sometimes they'll try and pick it up and turn around and run. He just pounced on the ball, and that was great to see.
So much for the defense being this huge weakness, huh? The defense really held their own in this game. We got this one from JC Mania. Saw Jumpman Purdy in today's game, LOL, and Dub City. Yeah, that jump throw that was almost picked off by Ernest Jones in the first half. It's like, I was sitting there going, what was that? Angel Murillo says Winters looks like a stud. Leave Moody in Seattle. Yeah, Winters had a great game, huh?
Yeah, I thought he played well. Yeah.
Yeah, Winters was shooting gaps. Andre says Brock gunslinger brain with a BB gun arm, boneheaded throws. Offense looks CMC dependent. Kyle needs better creativity. Runs up the gut don't work. Well, I mean, the Niners say they love their center, but they don't. They never seem like they can run up the middle. I mean, if you love your center, you would run behind him more, wouldn't you? But they don't even seem like they even try at times to run up the middle. And it seems like CMC runs into a wall a lot. D. Martinez, if Brendel's going to spend that much time in the backfield, he might as well play fullback. Wow. Larry's husband says, would you rather keep Kyle and lose Saleh to a head coaching gig, or trade and fire him and promote Saleh? I like Robert Saleh. I'd like to keep him, but I'm not firing Shanahan to hire Robert Saleh. I'm not. This is the wrong stream for that. Niner fan 5-7. What's tonight's bet on sleeper?
We don't have a lineup for, if you're saying for the Bills-Ravens game.
The Bills-Ravens,
yeah, we didn't do one for.
It's looking good. I mean, if you have Lamar or Derrick Henry, you're pretty happy. They both have touchdowns here.
Do they really? What's the score?
16-7, going to be 17-7.
Sitting here on the red zone.
Derrick Henry's gashing the Bills defense right now. They can't stop him. It's incredible how he's still so good at his age.
Yeah, it's amazing how Buffalo never gets good enough defensively, huh? They're just not. They're just not quite ever enough defensively to seemingly contend. For a Super Bowl.
One thing we forgot to do is we got to do our Habits Law game ball.
Yeah, we're definitely gonna do that. We just try to get through these. We're almost done, I think. Heckdell says, give me healthy CMC, Kittle, Pearsall, DeMarcus Robinson, Jennings, Jordan Watkins, and we're good. Okay. I'd like one more back, that's for sure. But I like those receivers too. Rick James, his team looks slow. Weapons getting hurt fast. CMC won't last this way. Brock turning to too much Favre-like. Got to clean up the mistakes. Wide receivers are lame. D is solid. Man, Rick got a lot said there in a very short amount of characters.
Yeah, hit a lot of subjects there.
A lot of subjects. Shrek had sliders on Hawaiian rolls. Nice idea, Krug. Thanks. Oh, nice. Yeah, I went sliders the other day for my son had a bunch of kids spend the night, and he's like, "Do you need?"
There we go.
I'm like, you probably need some food. And he goes, "Oh no, we're going out to pizza." I'm like, "Yeah, but you guys are all 16. Something tells me you're going to need more food than that." So I made like 20 sliders. Dan, I put them on a table. I walked into the garage. I came back. They were gone. Gone. Yeah. Absolutely gone. I thought Penny had taken them, the dog, but no, it wasn't Penny. It was these freaking 16-year-olds. JC Mania, you were right about Tongas, Krug. He's him. Yeah, I don't know if I said that. But I like Tongas. Nice guy.
I liked him at Cal when he played at Cal. He
can catch.
He catches the ball, and he's got a good radius, and he's kind of just a fundamentally sound player.
He doesn't move anybody off the line of scrimmage in the run game, but he can catch.
Yeah.
And you saw the necessity for that today. Brett is a brand new member. Thank you, Brett. Thanks for jumping aboard. Michael is in the house. He said, should call about Tyreek Hill or Jalen Waddle. Yeah. Or I'll say this, or Malik Washington. Malik Washington is a tiny little slot receiver from Miami who's really productive. Yeah. Tyreek Hill, no. Not because we don't like him or anything, but just because I think I saw his contract. He's got like a $56 million cap hit next year. So that, if anything you traded him, it would be a 1-year rental. You'd cut him next year. Angel Murillo, Krug, I want to wager 1,000 that Ricky Pearsall will get 1,000 catch yards this season. Bottle of wine or tequila, your choice.
He should get 1,000 yards this season. There's no one else really. I mean, if Kittle's out too, I mean, it's Pearsall. It's go time, Pearsall.
Yeah, I mean, this guy was a first-round draft choice. Let's stop pretending like if he produces that it's some awesome revelation. You took this guy in the fucking first round. He's supposed to produce. But I'd consider a wager, but not for an even grand. Probably have to be more like 1,200 yards. Matthew Short in the house. Kruger one. No, let's see this one. Larry, how long is it going to take for Kyle to see that Moody is a legitimate liability to this team? Oh, he sees it. He sees it right now. Just a matter of, does he want to stay with him or not? And it's like it's a big nothing burger. You know what I mean? Why am I going to get all exercise screaming and yelling about it if they don't give a shit? If I care more than them, then what are we talking about? It's like, this guy to this point has proven that he's not reliable and really, really shaky. They're the ones whose careers are on the line. Something tells me the channel's going to be just fine, whether they go with Moody or somebody else, whether Kyle's the head coach or somebody else, whether Lynch is the GM or somebody else. I don't have everything riding on this. They are the ones that do. So the joke's on them. They want to stay with the bad kicker and lose games because of it. It's your funeral, bro. It's not mine. Here we go. We got this one from Vince Vargas. Damon back live. Nice. And like that, he was gone. Altcoin Emperor. Trent Williams is done. He looked horrible. We barely ran it to the left side. I doubt he makes it past week 8 this year. Well, the one thing about the old guys, you got to give him a few weeks to shake off the cobwebs. This is the first time he's played 4 quarters all year. And it's hot and he hasn't done it. Let him work round into shape. I would say give Trent at least 3 or 4 more games before you really critically decide that he's not the same guy that he used to be. Michael Winters was giving Bowman flashbacks in that 53 jersey. He did look great. Winters was great. The one thing I'd say about Winters, he still has a tendency to fall off tackles. Bro, if you hit somebody, have him go down. My God. I mean, I saw 2 times today. He absolutely had guys dead to rights, and he just fell off of it.
He did flash, though. I mean,
he flashed.
I watched him last year. He's much improved. Much improved player.
No question. Eric says, thanks, Larry. So agreed on Stout. He literally improved in front of our eyes. So happy we had him in there for game time experience. He's a major talent, or he's a talent. I threw in the major, but you know what? I'm editing here. We got this one from Fuji. Glad I have Penix for fantasy. Good trade asset. I had him as well for a few minutes, and then I moved him. I'm like the Dan Coachemilio of the Cambiar League. I've already made like 17 transactions.
I took it on the chin today.
Did you?
Yeah.
I had Murph talk so much trash about my team, and unless Baltimore's defense just has the night of nights, it looks like I'm going to win.
Yeah, well, I had Xavier Worthy as one of my wide receivers. That was a bad sign right there. 3 plays in.
Yeah, well, you saw today he's hurt.
Shoulder separated?
Shoulder dislocated. Oh, so he'll be out a little bit. Though he is going to play with a sling, they said. Thomas Selman, Go Niners, thought the linebacker play was great. I love Winters. The D-line, the secondary was good too. Purdy's a gamer. Okay. I mean, this is a guy who thought Purdy played well. Vince Vargas, game ball to Sebastian Valdez for looking like Hulk in street clothes on the sidelines. Yeah, he didn't. I was going to say he didn't play, but that's all right. He didn't need to play. Elias Block says, dump Moody. It doesn't say dump, but I think that's what he meant. Nevix Media, NVIX Media says Jake Moody. It's not very nice. Hectel says, is Trey Lance still on the team? First round pick. Fujisimi and Moody's power kicks don't work now with the kickoff rule. We got this one. Tony Uga. What does that say? Uga Tafa. It's the first game. Damon, relax. Sound like Grant Cohn. I don't know. What did Damon? Was Damon losing it when I was not in the room?
He was pretty hot. Yeah, he was pretty hot.
Digital Drew in the house, member for 11 months. He says, the mood sucks, gents. They went on the road to Seattle and won. You'd think they got blown out. FFS. The season is too short for shitting on wins. I hear.
No, I know. I agree.
I agree. They won.
they won despite a lot of things, and that's a positive and a negative. You know, they didn't look great in some areas. They still won, and they won because they won despite it.
It's a huge win. It's a division win on the road, and you have a chance. You put yourself in a position now. You go into New Orleans, who's maybe one of the worst offensive teams in the league. The Niners should go in there and handle them.
No question.
Take care of business.
It's almost time for our Habas Law game balls. Jim Molay in the house, though. He says, here's a suggestion. When Moody and the field goal team sets up, bring out some clowns and buckets of confetti because it's a frickin' circus. Thank you, Jimmy. I love it. Charlie Higgs, they went up against a tough defense that's a division rival while having no wide receiver threat and no tight end. How is this a bad win? Really bad take. Who said it was a bad win?
I think Damon was saying it was a bad win, and I was saying that there's no such thing as really a bad win. Especially,
it was a great win, but in the midst of it, you probably have reached the end of the line with your bad kicker, who's proven at this point that he's not good. If he's proven anything, if he's proven anything at all, it's that he's not good. There's only two things that you could say about the kicker. Either he still has more to prove, or he's proven what he is and he's not good. Matthew Short, Larry, our offensive line is terrible. Purdy had little to much Favre in him. We are still going to be terrible in the red zone. The red zone thing. Hopefully DeMarcus Robinson will help when he gets ready.
That's kind of like you think about this. What would you rather have, as a so-called bad win or a good loss?
The moral advantages of losing have been greatly exaggerated. I believe strongly in that. You got to win. It's about winning.
Yeah.
Clarence Beeks, member for 39 months. He said, Bosa biceps. The beach is that way. Bosa had a great day, man. He saved their bacon.
Yeah. Chiefs made it to the Super Bowl last year with about 10 bad wins.
I know. Seriously. 49er fan 57. Nick Bosa had 6 tackles, 3 for a loss, a sack, and a forced fumble, and a fumble recovery. Damon, you moron. Why, did he say that Bosa had a bad game?
Kind of. He said he didn't show up. Wasn't there. Yeah.
I don't know what he was saying.
Maybe Damon wasn't watching that close. Jim Molay said, my favorite moment, Tonga scored a go-ahead touchdown and then immediately has to cover the end on the point after attempt. Yeah, well, that's, he's the guy up on special teams, right? He had to be the starting receiver and the special team guy. Yeah, exactly. And we got this one right here from Mao Boing. He says, our current kicker dictates how the game goes. Okay. Jim Molay, maybe Moody's problem is the 2-step approach. Perhaps he should consider a 3-step approach to the ball.
That was last year. He did the 3-step.
Yeah, I think he's being sarcastic.
He's being sarcastic.
Oh, yeah.
If he just had that extra 3rd step.
Maybe he should try and invent a 1-step or a 4-step.
That would be such a great question to ask Boyer. Boyer is just hating life right now. He's like,
why'd I take this job?
He's like Mr. Special Teams, and like every possible thing that could go wrong on special teams today did pretty much.
Well, apparently he got no assurances, so he might be fucked.
Yeah, he got no assurances. Harry Johnson, signing Tucker would be a happy ending to our kicking problem.
Happy ending.
Great.
I see what he did there.
Look at that.
We got a comedian here.
There'd be a lot of complaining people, but a lot of happy people. It would be a very polarizing move. Mark T. Engberg, Jake Tongus with the catch 4. All right, I don't know about that. It was a week 1 game, but it was a great catch. Tangy, I'll spot Larry for the swear jar. Thank you. Look who's in the house. Look who's back there. I just heard him. Wait a second.
He popped out.
And then he was gone. We'll see if he's there.
We're almost done with these, and then we'll do the game ball.
Ball. Okay, we got this one from Pluffy Phil. Low-key hero, Mikael Williams. He was double-teamed with another lineman nudging him, giving Bosa the one-on-one opportunity to strip and seal the game. Didn't see that. That's good knowledge. JD's in the house. What's up, JD?
What's going on, guys? Can you hear me?
We're just finishing up a couple of these, and we're going to go game balls, but we want your thoughts. Let me just get through these last few supers. NBA Elias, if the Niners keep Moody, the offense and play calling needs to be better in the red zone. Red zone offense was awful today. Mark T. Enberg, pound the Jake Moody anytime doink on the sleeper and tell him Larry sent you. Thank you. Now we got people doing material on the commercials. Cody Bezsovek, how is Moody still on this team? Can someone ask Kyle, how do you keep supporting this guy? No evidence shows he can be a kicker in this league. That might be the question right there. Why? Kyle, how you doing? Larry Krueger, why? Mark T. Engberg, 49ers are in an abusive relationship with Moody. Oh, nice. JC Mania, welcome back, Greg Joseph, everybody. He's been staying at the Hyatt in Santa Clara. JC Mania, Jake Tongas can stay. The other two Jakes can go. Could you imagine if it was like game balls? Hey, game ball for Jake Tongas. The other guys, get out of here. I don't think so, but it'll be funny. Claudaddy Arcades, and we're off to New Orleans next week, courtesy of Claudaddy Arcades, who's a great follow on Instagram, at Claw_Daddy_Arcades. He's in
You
the
going
chat.
next week?
Yes,
You're
we're
going?
going to New Orleans.
Thanks to Claudaddy.
Thanks to
Wow.
Claudaddy Arcades, who's sending
Nice.
Kev and I to New Orleans. He says, off to New Orleans, boys. Leave Moody at SFO. Maybe we should take Jake with us to the LSU Florida game and then just leave him in Baton Rouge.
Oh, you're going Saturday night to LSU, huh?
Yeah, we're going
Florida,
to LSU.
who lost this week, right?
Yeah, Florida lost to South Florida.
That thing's
Claudaddy Arcades. Oh, we got that one.
I used to live down there in New Orleans and just north of New Orleans. LSU is a religion down there.
Oh, yeah.
It's like,
Absolutely.
I mean,
Nicholas's Moody made Bosa's fumble possible, kept them in it. Okay, no question. We got this one from Flippin' Shrub. Purdy isn't afraid to give his receivers a chance. He prays and throws. It worked a lot, but it's risky.
he praised.
It's called 50-50 balls. Angel Murillo says 1.2 thousand yards, then Krug, bottle of wine or tequila, your choice. I'm a man of my word. I'll go bottle of wine. I will take a bottle of wine. You can have a bottle of tequila if you want. I'll get you your tequila. You're on. Angel Murillo, you're on. You're absolutely on. 12 hun. If Ricky goes over 12 hun, you get your bottle. If he doesn't go for 12 hun,
yeah,
I get
right.
the bottle.
Yeah.
We're on. That's a deal. Matthew Short, I agree with Damian Martinez. I agree. Get Damian Martinez. The last time we had the Miami Hurricane running back, we were pretty good. Plus, he's a better option than Garendo. Okay. And we have this last one, I think, from Toyota Mo. Last year, when Moody was out, those replacement kickers they brought in did a great job. What are we waiting for? I thought that was the last one, but we have this one from Mice Guys Style. Hi. It says Jake Moody, make poopy. Okay. It's well said. It's well thought out, well reasoned. JC Mania, LOL, might be getting my tight ends confused. Who was the tight end that was the basketball player that you were really high on? That was Mason Pline. Also, won't see Seattle again until week 18. That's amazing. And this is the last super. This is super number 76 from JC Mania. Enjoy the food down there in Louisiana. Oh, yeah. We'll take Kev out to a couple real nice dinners. Should be a really good time. All right. We welcome in JD. And JD, why don't we get JD's thoughts quickly in the game, and then we'll go around with our Habas game balls. JD, welcome to the extravaganza. There, I'm sure you've been talking about this with Copes and everybody on KMBR. What do the callers say? What was the reaction? Give us your takeaway from this exciting and frustrating 49er victory.
Yeah, biggest takeaway, guys, is just the fact that they found a way to win, and had they not, the whole game would have felt like a complete extension of 2024. So that I think is first and foremost. I mean, the entire tone of today and the way we view this team after an offseason of trying, I think they were really trying to have it be viewed completely differently. It just would have felt like, all right, all this time has passed, and it's right back to kind of where it was, with a lot of the same problems that they had at the end of last year at different points popping up today. Biggest takeaway, just overarching, I thought the defense was excellent today. I thought Robert Saleh, huge Robert Saleh day. He was bringing the pressure early, and then they settled in late. And so Bosa comes up with obviously the big turnover there at the end after the 49ers go ahead. Tonjes, incredible. He turned an interception that would have lost the game into a game-winning touchdown. It was an unbelievable play. I don't know if you guys did you guys have the next gen stats note on Tonjes? Did you guys see that? If not, I could give it to you.
Yeah, share it with us. We'd love to
Yeah,
hear it.
next gen stats. Purdy's touchdown pass to Tonjes had a completion probability of 14.7%. It was the most improbable completion of the entire weekend. You had the game Thursday, the game Friday, all the games, early games. Like it was the most improbable catch of any catch for the entire weekend going into the Sunday night game between the Ravens and the Bills, and he was able to haul it in. The lowest catch probability of any play at this point, going into the play. So incredible, just 0.4 yards of separation for Tonjes there. So yeah, I thought Brock Purdy was awesome early. I thought he had a couple of really bad interceptions. I didn't love the decision to kind of throw it up for grabs for Tonjes because it worked out, but it's third down. And you got to live to at least give yourself an opportunity to run a fourth down play if you don't trust Jake Moody, or kick the field goal and extend the game and try to win it later. Maybe Kyle goes for it. It seemed like he was considering going for it because he didn't want to put the game in Moody's hands, because Moody would have had to have made that kick and probably made another kick later. Although if Seattle goes down like they did, the Niners would have lost it right there with only a field goal. So the touchdown was very much needed and proved to be the difference. Pearsall, tremendous. I mean, just huge impact plays from Ricky Pearsall in this one. And I'll just say it very clearly. My last big thought is Jake Moody's got to go. And I think they have been careful. They have given him the benefit of the doubt. I think they've given him more benefit of the doubt than most people would like to this point. I've understood that. I've acknowledged that. To be honest, I didn't think at any point, while it has gotten close, once they made the decision for him to be the kicker, when they got rid of Greg Joseph in training camp, I don't think since he won the job, so to speak, there has been a clear-cut reason to move on. I know the Raider game and the way all that played out, that was enough in a lot of people's minds. Again, I respect that opinion. It didn't for me. Today was the straw that breaks the camel's back as far as I'm concerned with Moody. I think they need to go in a different direction, and they avoided him potentially costing them the game today by coming back and winning. Don't let it happen again. And I said it, I think the last time I was on with you guys, he's going to cost him a game. If he's on this team for the entire year, he's going to cost him a game. And to me, the Niners have a unique opportunity to be able to move on now, not having it cost them a game. You can't miss 27-yard field goals. You can't almost make it's again for me. If you're missing beyond 50, okay. Although in today's day and age, a lot of kickers are banging them from 50, 55, even close to 60 with relative consistency. You want everything inside of 50 to be mostly automatic unless there's some elements involved. But you cannot miss 27-yarders. Like it cannot happen. And so it was basically the exact same kick that he made in Vegas. the one that he snuck through in Vegas, he missed today. So that was the last straw for me. I was stunned. Shanahan said, yeah, he's going to be on the team next week when Tim Kawakami asked him in the postgame press conference here in Seattle. I am at Lumen Field in Seattle. What an atmosphere today. Tremendous atmosphere today. Fewer 49er fans than had been in recent years. I think probably because it was the first game of the year in the Seahawks home opener, but a lot of Niner fans, and it was loud. I think it was as loud as it's been in the games that I've been up in Seattle since 2019. And so the Niners really overcame today. I give them credit for that. So yeah, those are my points. I'll cede it back to you guys. It's your show, but I love coming on, and those are kind of my big takeaways.
No, there's some great stuff there, and JD's thoughts, we'll say today, are brought to you by Sharp Corners Sports Cards and Collectibles. Check them out, 205 Cypress Avenue in Pacific Grove, California, on the Monterey Peninsula. My good friend Anthony Catania, who's a big fan of the show, He's at 831-521-5264, and check out Sharp Corner Sports Cards and Collectibles for all your sports cards and collectible needs. All right, we are coming down the home stretch. Angel Murillo is in the chat one more time on the Super. He says, the bet is live, Krug. We are on. All right, there you go. 1,200 yards, Ricky Pearsall. Over. I'm buying. Under. You're buying. You just let me know. Is it wine or is it tequila? I'll take a nice bottle of wine. I could go with tequila, but you know what? Something tells me the smarter play would be go with the wine. Okay, it is time for our game balls brought to you by Habas Law. Habas Law is a proud sponsor of the Krug Show, and they're fantastic. For more than 40 years, Omar Habas and his son Tarek have been standing up for people right here in the Bay Area in Northern California. They're fierce, they're relentless, they're outstanding attorneys who don't back down until justice is done. When you need a really good personal injury attorney, you want Habas Law. They're official partners of Bay Area institutions like the Giants, the Earthquakes, the Sharks, San Jose State, Santa Clara. When you're injured, insurance companies try to minimize your pain and your future and what they pay. Habas Law makes sure they pay up. So they know the playbook because they've been battling these insurance companies for decades and winning. They're great guys. So if you need someone in your corner, call the firm that insurance companies are hoping that you never call, and that's Habas Law. They will fight to make it right. Visit habaslaw.com on the web for more. And also, thanks to Habas Law, yesterday they paid for all the pet adoptions down in the South Bay. Really, really great gesture by them. So thanks to Omar and Tarek Habas. And once again, 1-800-INJURED. They will fight to make it right. And we're proud to have Habas Law as a proud sponsor of the Krug Show. And on that note, let's go around the room with game balls. Who wants to go first on the game ball front? Kev, why don't you? We'll go around this way. We'll start with you. Go ahead.
Yeah. Game ball. I guess I'm going first. I'll take the first pick. This is an easy one for me. Layup here. I'm going Christian McCaffrey, man. I mean, I've said this a couple times now over the course of the stream. McCaffrey is this team's offense. He's leading the team in rushing yards, carries, targets, receptions. I mean, Pearsall beat him out for the yards, but this guy is the MVP of the offense by any stretch of the imagination. He's the guy. And they're continuing to use him like he is that MVP caliber player. McCaffrey had the leg injury. Obviously wasn't enough to keep him out of this one, and he played well. I think the game ball, all game balls should go to Christian McCaffrey in this one.
Danny, what do you think? Or JD, what do you think?
I will go with, you got to go with Jake Tonjes, right? I think he has to get the game ball, and I'll just take him off the board because if he doesn't make the play that he did, we're talking about a loss, and the 49ers are 0-1. I mean, that was an interception. I think everybody that could see that play inside Lumen Field, and it was down in the end zone where my seat in the press box was closest to in that corner side, a great view of it. I think everybody in the building thought it was going to be picked, including the defender that Jake Tonjes took it away from. So you talk about a play, and there are others who are on the board that I'll leave for Dan, I'll leave for Krug, but none of any of the great things that anybody else did, great pick by Kev, happen if Jake Tonjes doesn't snatch that ball away for his first career touchdown. What a cool first career touchdown, by the way. That is a story. And I know the guys in the locker room, I'll give you a little, Diamador Lenore and Trent Williams, they couldn't believe it when they were asked about it. Our friend Austin Scott from the KMBR digital team was down there, put together a great little package of answers on the play. It was just, Lenore said it was like a movie, slow motion. It's going up. He said it was a play he'd never forget. So just an awesome first touchdown for Tonjes and a great win. Danny,
what do you think? Who gets your game ball?
Well, yeah, I was going to go with Jake there. He got the Cal jersey shirt on there. He's talking to my brother after the game. My brother is one of the coaches at Cal right now and knows Jake pretty well. And
is your brother coaching at Cal?
Yeah, he's on the coaching staff at Cal. Yeah.
Football?
Yeah.
Basketball?
Mm-hmm.
Football.
Okay. Football. He's been there for 15.
So you're not years. Maybe the other brother. You have one brother that was coaching basketball.
Right.
DVC
yeah. He retired. Yeah.
Okay. Your
but
other brother.
Ron is still at Cal. But yeah, I talked to him about Jake. He says, great kid from Los Gatos High School. And, what a tremendous catch it was. In fact, I didn't realize it. They mentioned it on one of the earlier catches was his first catch in the NFL. So I think he had 3 catches today. All of them were first. So I thought the one where he caught it for a first down and then he kind of, wormed his way for an extra yard was great awareness, knowing that he needed that extra yard to he wasn't touched. But since we're picking different guys, I'm going to go with Nick Bosa. I'll go with Nick Bosa for the sack I think he was a credit for the sack on that play, I think, or I know he had 1 sack credited to him.
That was it.
He got a sack, a fumble, and a recovery. He got the hat trick.
So, I mean, coming up in a critical moment, and that's what you need. You need your stars to show up at critical times. He showed up, and, great to see. And Nick Bosa is my guy.
Okay. Those are all good. To me, and I said it to JD and Copes in the pregame that, man, get ready for Seattle. They're running the hell out of it in the preseason. They ran in the preseason for 5.5 yards a carry. They came out on that first drive and they said, here's Charbonnet. And they scored a touchdown. And it looked like they were going to run it down the Niners' throats. And I think if they had some more success, they would have. But Fred Warner and D. Winters came to play. Warner went out early with an injury. Looked like he got his mouth bloodied. He wound up with 8 tackles, 4 solo, and a TFL. D. Winters had 6 tackles, 5 of them solo, and 2 TFLs. And they single-handedly really held down this rushing attack. Now, Seattle still ran effectively at times, but 26 carries for 84 yards, only 3-2 a carry. And once again, they had been running the ball 5 yards a carry throughout the preseason against all 3 teams that they faced. So they were going to run it. The Niners knew it. Warner went out early with an injury, and it was like, uh-oh, that's a bad sign. And he came back in. He played the rest of the game, probably a little hurt. I don't know what his injury was. I don't know if they said JD in the locker room, but it looked like he was spitting blood.
Nose. He had a bloody nose or something.
I think he got kicked in the face. And ended up with a cut and or a nosebleed there. And so he had, there was some blood. He spat out blood as he was kind of going to the sideline on it, but nothing, no concussion or anything like that. But yeah, it looked like he took a foot that kind of got in the helmet, in the face mask.
Well, as as they always used to say, everybody's got a plan until you taste your own blood. And then all of a sudden, the plan goes awry. But Fred Warner and D. Winters, to hold down this rushing duo, it really started there. If Seattle had come out and they had effectively run the ball, then Sam Darnold, probably throw a few less times than he had to throw, would have been more open Jackson Smith-Njigba. So to me, holding Charbonnet to 3.9 a carry, but basically holding Kenneth Walker to nothing. He had 10 carries for 20 yards, 2 yards a pop for K9. That's damn good. So Winters and Warner get my game ball and my undying respect, because this game would have gone south. They would not have won this game if those guys didn't step up and play the run exceptionally well, and they did.
Can I give a nod to Pearsall too?
Yeah,
just a
absolutely.
quick one. I won't filibuster on it. I don't. But Ricky Pearsall, 4 catches for 108 yards. The big 45-yarder. That was a great double move. It was a beautifully ran route. They need him to be impactful. He was impactful today. Again, he made the most of 4 catches going over 100 yards, and hit Purdy to him. We watched it, Krug, in training camp from the being out at practice. You could see the connection building, and the connection that they built. Yes, Tonjes was you needed that to win the game, but you also needed the Purdy to Pearsall 45-yarder on the double move to set it up. So I think we got to give Ricky Pearsall in a game where there's, the first real game where I think he's a part of the opposition's game plan because of where he is in the 49ers pecking order. he made a big time positive impact on helping them win this game.
Absolutely. Hey, by the way, any word from Kyle on Kittle's timeline for the hamstring?
No, but
both are going to MRIs, right?
Exactly. Both him and Juwan Jennings with the shoulder, Kev. Yeah, going to get MRIs. So there wasn't an initial real thought, but I mean, to me, and that was on the play where Purdy got sacked. I don't know if you guys talked about it. So he ran a deep route and just kind of felt something, immediately took himself off the field as the series went on, and went right to the tent, got examined, and it was pretty quick when it sounded like he knew. It looked like he knew.
At least 3 weeks.
I think it's at least, yeah. That's exactly. I think it's at least 3 weeks, and it's probably 4 games if it's 3 weeks, because the 49ers have that Thursday night game. So they could be without Kittle and Jennings, Krug, here moving forward. Kendrick Bourne's
already out Robinson. You're already at Robinson, so
yeah, you're already out Robinson. So they still, I think, are on the wide receiver market again here, and we'll see. Maybe it's Kendrick Bourne, maybe it's somebody else.
Robbie Chosen getting loose in the bullpen. That's a different sport. All right, that is the Habas Law Player of the Game, brought to you by Habas Law, 1-800-INJURED. They will fight to make it right. The 49ers fought to make it right today. Couple more supers before we bolt for the door. We have this one from Propa. He says, Kyle needs to be asked what message it sends to his team and the fans to keep rolling Moody out there. The vets can't be happy about it either. You know, that's a major factor. Humdinger says, famous Animal House quote, Tongus, Tongus, Tongus. Very nice. One of the greatest movies of all time. Crazy Uncle A-Bomb. Ugly wins are where legends are made. Hashtag Purdy, hashtag Bosa. All right, that is going to do it for us. We're 2 hours and almost 2.5 hours into our live stream. If you just tuned in, 49ers win this game. It was a wild one, 17-13. Next week, Kev and I will get on the bird and go to New Orleans. JD, you're going to New Orleans.
I am going to New Orleans. I will see you guys there. We definitely need to try to link up for a dinner at some point, or a couple of cocktails on Bourbon Street. I know you guys are going to Baton Rouge. I have to recheck what time I'm flying, and maybe I'll see if I can rent a car and go to Baton Rouge, and that would be an unbelievable deal. I know it's going to be an unbelievable night there, but we'll definitely, when you guys get back to New Orleans, we'll definitely link up.
We're going to be there. We're going to stay. We're even staying Sunday night. I think we're not leaving till Monday or Tuesday. So we'll,
beautiful. I'm going back Tuesday as well. I'm doing the show with Greg Silver Monday.
Take you a couple days to get rid of your headaches.
So yeah, Sunday night or Monday night, brother. If you're going to be there, I'm all in with you.
We're going to be there. We're going to be there, and something tells me it's not going to be an early night. It's going to be a late night. All right, that's going to do it for us, and it's all going to be courtesy, by the way, of Claw Daddy Arcades. Thanks to Claw Daddy for sending us to Nolans, the Big Easy, and we'll be there covering this thing, and we'll do a lot of videos, have a lot of fun in New Orleans, and report back and do our post-game show and pre-game shows and everything from down there. So looking forward to that. All right. Danny, great to see you. Tell people, if they haven't already signed up for NorCal Sports Network, how they can go about doing so.
Yeah, just head on over to NorCal Sports Network on YouTube. Our logo is the California flag with the bear in there. So there's another NorCal something else. So, but go on over there. We cover pretty much everything related to NorCal sports except the Valkyries.
Giants win today?
No, they lost.
Oh, okay. There you go. JD, when do you appear next on the leader?
Yeah, I'm going to be on tomorrow, 10 a.m. until 2, filling in again for the great Greg Papa, and we send our love and well wishes to Papa as well as he continues his battle. And I know today probably was especially difficult for him to not be in Seattle. I was texting back and forth with him a little bit, trying to give him a little bit of the feel. And I know he was locked in. He had, I think, about 20 screens going. He hit me back. I hit him with my view. He hit me back with his view. And it was, I think he had 10 games on at the same time in his view, and iPads and screens and all that. So love to Papa. In for him tomorrow, 10-2 with Greg Silver, and in with him throughout the week, 10-2 as well.
Awesome. And I'll be one of your guests
You
tomorrow.
got, and I think you got one. I think you've got Tuesday, crew, because I'm flying back from Seattle on Tuesday. So.
Okay.
I think.
I'm not sure actually. I'm not sure if I'm in Tuesday. Oh yeah, I am. I'm in Tuesday. I'm in this Tuesday and next Tuesday. But anyway, thanks to all you guys. Thanks to and of course our thoughts and prayers go out to Greg. Greg, if you're watching, we love you, brother. Get healthy, and we're thinking about you. And we can fill in, but it's just that we're just filling in. Niner fans, the Niners, the coaches, the players, everybody. We all miss you, and get healthy, brother. We love you. Kev, I'll give you final word. Anything you'd like to tell people about the channel or anything we've got coming up or anything that we didn't already hit, please hit right here.
Stream tomorrow. Check out the Krug Show, all social medias, Instagram, TikTok, obviously YouTube. Podcast, leave a review, 5-star rating. That's all.
Yeah, hit like and subscribe on your way out the door. Very exciting Niner win. Thanks to the panel. Thanks to all of you guys. Thank you to all the people who put out supers. Awesome. In fact, we actually have a couple here where we didn't get. We got this one, I should say, Kenny. Kenny Davis has become a YouTube member. So, Kenny, welcome aboard. Glad to have you. And thanks for jumping in on the Krug Show. And that's going to do it for us. For the fellas, have a great night, everybody. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. And the grind continues. And we'll have more straight ahead.
Yeah, never met a man I've been scared of. Careful.